We're on Shabbat, Perek Yud Zayin Mishnah Bet. Second Mishnah, 17th chapter of Shabbat. We're continuing to talk about muktzah. We discussed, let me move me over. We discussed the laws of muktzah. Okay, and we learned that there are three types of muktzah. One we call the kli shemalachto leheter. Kli shemalachto leheter is a kli that you're allowed to use that has permissible uses on Shabbat, like a cup. We use it for permissible reasons. The second thing is called the kli shemalachto le'iser. I have to have one. Kli shemalachto le'iser is a screwdriver, because normally it's used. The normal use of this screwdriver is for something that's prohibited. Is screwing things in. That's prohibited. Okay, and we learned that you're allowed to move it litzarach gufo o mekomo. You're allowed to move it either if you need it or the place that it's in. Okay, and then the third thing we learned is muktzah mamash, which we'll get to. But in the first Mishnah, Mishnah Bet, we're going to discuss the law of kli shemalachto le'iser. I hope you can hear me. I thought this was not malachto. Here we go. I hope that's a little bit better. Kli shemalachto le'iser. Says the Mishnah, notel adam kurnas lepatzed bo et agozim. I can take kurnas is a patish, is a hammer. I can take a hammer in order to crack nuts. Vikardom, or I can take an axe. Lachtoch et hatvela. I have a cake of figs. For whatever reason, I need to cut my cake of figs. I don't have a knife, and I can take an axe to it. Migeira, I can take a saw, ligror ba et agvina, in order to cut the cheese. Okay, or magrefa, or I could take a hoe, ligrof ba et agrogrot. If I have dried figs, I want to, collect the dried figs, scrape the dried figs out of something or other. I can take my hoe and I can do that. Or et harachat, ve'et hamazleg. Rachat is like a winnowing fork that they used, or a mazleg is a pitchfork. Latet alab lekatan. If I want to use it in order to give something to a child. So the Bartinura says, if I can see, latet alab, what do I want to use it? He doesn't say why the Kahati says, because let's say, for example, I am tameh, but I'm tameh tuma rishon. So if I touch food, then the food becomes tuma sheni. But if I touch a kli, it doesn't become tameh. We'll learn this later on. Okay, so but if I use the pitchfork and I give the bread to my kid, then no problem, because then the pitchfork, a rishon, doesn't make a keli tameh, and my child can eat pitahara. Or et kush ve'et karkar. Kush and karkar. A kush is a spindle or a weaving shuttle. A karkar is a weaving shuttle. Okay, kush is a pelach shetavod bo nashim, a spindle. A karkar et shel orgim, the weaving shuttle. V'domeh lemachat shel sakaim. It's like a small piece of wood. Okay, so I can use those. The kush v'karkar. Litchobo. I want to use them in order to use as a toothpick, in order to grab a piece of food from the fruit salad. Or machat shel yad. Machat shel yad is a hand needle. Litolbo et akos, to take out the kos. I have a thorn. V'shel sakaim, or I want to use a sack needle. Liftoach bo et hadelet. Somehow I can use it to pick locks. I guess either I'm very good at picking locks with my needles, or it wasn't very hard to pick locks. In either case, all of these things, a hammer or an axe, all of those are what's called kli shemalachto le'iser. If I want to take, for example, I want to use my screwdriver and I want to use it as a toothpick in order to eat my food, that would be gross. But I could do it. Why? Because in all these cases, the Mishnah is saying that's what's called the kli shemalachto le'isur, and I want it tzarach gufo. I want it in order to use it for whatever I want to use it for. The classic example I like to give is a pair of scissors. I don't have scissors right next to me. Scissors are kli shemalachto le'iser. But very often, if I want to open a package, sometimes, especially nowadays, often you have a problem that the package, the lettering, you want to try to avoid cutting through the letters. The best way to open a package is with a pair of scissors, because I'm allowed to open the package, and that gives me the precision and in order to cut in such a way that I don't cut the letters. That would be a kli shemalachto le'isur litzarach gufo. And in all of these cases, the Mishnah is saying the rules of muktzah don't apply, and I'm allowed to use that kli for the reasons, for the purpose that I want to use it, as long as I'm using it for a purpose of heter. We'll stop here. As always, if you have comments or questions, email me at rspolter@gmail.com, and we'll dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.